Over the past couple of years, I've been reading more and more books, and of course, since I will never have time to read all the great books out there, I started looking into ways how to improve my reading speed. So I started reading studies, looked at methods others recommended, and tested them to see if they work for me. And what I found out is that while some of the techniques are really good, most of them don't apply, at least not to me and the way I want to read. Now, before we move on, a good question you should ask yourself is why would you want to read faster? And by faster, I'm referring going beyond the level of a good reader that usually is around 200 to 400 words per minute. It's really based on what you achieve in the end. For me, more than the upper limit implies a trade-off between speed and comprehension accuracy. That means how accurate I can remember what I read. So I have split the methods into two categories. The first category contains the ones that I use daily and will help you reach the level of a good reader, while in the second category I talk about the techniques that I prefer to use just for special occasions when what I read requires me to use such methods. Let's start with the first category. Tip number 1. Read constantly. If you develop a habit of reading daily, not only you'll end up reading more, but you'll also be improving your reading speed. Compare it, for example, with running. If you go 2 times per month outside for a run, you will not make much progress. But go 3 times per week and see how fast you are improving. I guess you get my point. Like any other skill, practice makes perfect. Plus, creating this daily habit will help you stick to reading for the rest of your life. Tip number 2. Reading environment. It's really important to choose a place without any distractions. And I'm saying this from my own experience. Even in a quiet place where there's nobody, because of your peripheral vision, your eyes tend to wander to some specific object, color, or light. These distractions will make you lose focus, thus reducing your reading speed. To avoid doing this, change your position, move somewhere else, or do something to remove those distractions from your eyesight. Number 3. Focus. Another big part of what it takes to improve your reading speed is the focus. Many times I found myself daydreaming, my mind wandering through the universe. Sounds familiar? And what's the solution then? As your eyes are naturally attracted to motion, a good trick to stay focused is to use a finger or a pen to guide your eyes while reading. Like this, while maintaining focus, you can also set up a quicker pace with your hand, therefore forcing you to adapt and read faster. Now, let's move over to the ones that I personally don't use often, but that may be useful in some specific cases. First method, skimming. Essentially that means that you do not read the text in its entirety, but instead you are going through the text looking for words or phrases that make you understand the general idea of the topic. Well, I would use this method only if I wouldn't have to understand all the aspects of the text, but rather to find a particular case. I would have to admit that skimming is an important skill if you have an overwhelming amount of text that you have to read, as long as you are willing to accept the trade-off between speed and accuracy. Number 2. Suppressing your inner voice. So as you read, a little voice in your head reads with you. And while some studies suggest that losing this inner speech improves the reading speed, other studies claim that the elimination has been shown to result in impairments in comprehension when texts are reasonably difficult. From my experience, I find it quite hard not to read in my mind and tend to agree with what the last studies show. So these are all the methods that I tried so far. Let me know which one you are using. Also, if you want to keep up with the books that I'm reading, you can find the link to my Goodreads profile. Thank you for watching, and until next time, read more and invest smart.